My name is Alonda Carter. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so very much for your support. And if you're new, I am so happy you found me. Now you might hear my dogs, Chalupa and Tamale, behind us, or something outside. Gonna have to live with it. As of this recording, I am still a Beachbody coach. And this whole thing about, the makeup of MLMs, which is multi-level marketing, in case you don't know what MLM stands for, it has really weighed very heavily on my heart for a long time. But I kept silent. I think I kept silent for many reasons. Recently, I guess because it came across my YouTube channel, or my YouTube. I watch YouTube when I'm, just on the couch and stuff, and instead of like TV. And so I think some stuff just popped up. And so I've watched a lot of anti-MLM videos as of late. And I've also gone to the subreddit, the anti-MLM subreddit. If I can talk, the anti-MLM subreddit. And just all of that really got me to thinking. And overall, the view of MLMs is that they're predatory. And that really, really was bothering me. But the more I really looked at it, I just can't deny it. I can't disagree with it. And then it got me to thinking of when I was a kid. And so, I was sexually molested when I was a child, starting at age 3. And it took me a really long time before I found my voice and I was able to say something to my mother. And my dad went next door and beat the crap out of the guy who had been my babysitter. There was a married couple next door, and it was the husband who was molesting me. And it's kind of the same thing here. I've protected what I've been victimized by, the overall MLM culture. Now maybe you have and maybe you haven't heard of the Stockholm Syndrome, but it's a condition which causes hostages to develop a psychological alliance with their captors during captivity. And when you are in an MLM, you are vested. You have a strong allegiance to the company and idolize those who have, quote, made it. And so I think that, kind of applies in this instance. Now, I am probably going to take some flack for speaking out, and, so be it, whatever. But until people actually tell the truth, not those clickbait titles that you see in YouTube, but until people stand up and tell the truth that this type of business, the damage that it causes, then this business model will continue. And, really, I do not think that the founders set out to intentionally cause harm. I think it's more of a byproduct of the model and not being able to then truly self-reflect on how it's hurting people. Maybe that's just more of my, conditioning and to be peppy and to believe what I'm told and all that kind of stuff. But let's go ahead and dive into the overall structure of Beachbody, how coaches make money, and the sustainability of this business model, MLM, as it applies to Team Beachbody and its coaching network. All right, before we get into all of that, let me just give you kind of a little history lesson. Now, I don't have all the dates, I couldn't find it for Beachbody Live, but let me just kind of give you the rundown. In 1998, Carl Deichler and John Congdon began Beachbody with the idea of one thing in mind: to help you live a healthy and fulfilling life. And people are the reason that the company exists, people that they felt that they could help. Okay, that's what started it all, was just Beachbody, which is, on the top of this image. Next is Team Beachbody. Team Beachbody is separate from Beachbody because this is the coaching network. This is where your healthy lifestyle begins. It was created in 2007, and it is a direct selling division of Beachbody. And it is, the independent distributors which are called coaches. That's who makes up Team Beachbody. Coaches, they say, it's from their website, can help you achieve fitness or financial success with a combination of Beachbody's proven home workout programs, easy to follow meal plans, nutrition advice, financial incentives, and a support system like no other. Real transformation takes work and a little help along the way. So whether you want to lose weight, get fit, or earn money by helping others, Team Beachbody offers a unique opportunity to turn your interest in fitness and weight loss into a part-time or even full-time career. And on the bottom we have Beachbody Live. Now I couldn't find when Beachbody Live began, but it is intended to get people certified to be able to teach different Beachbody programs, and you get your you can get your certification online or in person with the Beachbody Live instructor. And you can be your own boss. You can teach these classes anywhere. You can work from home. Now, right now, there are 6 programs that you can choose from. In a prior video I did, which hopefully it's popping up about now, I explained how I was certified in 2 programs, Size and Country Heat. What's interesting to me is that they are no longer offered for you to get certified in. And I live in Houston, but I couldn't really find anyone who was interested in having those put into their gyms. So, I just find that interesting that it was there and now it's gone. And I think that speaks volumes that there just wasn't an interest in that. Overall, in gyms, if you look at it, and I did not pull up the numbers, but I should have, if you look at the numbers of how many Beachbody programs are offered citywide, let alone statewide, let alone countrywide, it's not that big. There's just not the demand for that. But it's kind of proposed to you that when you're a coach, this is one way you can, grow your influence, grow your team, because you can, help people this way and then get them into the coaching network, get them into, Beachbody On Demand, all these things. And for me, that didn't happen. And I know several other people who were also certified and they didn't have luck either. So it's not like I'm the only person that, spent this money on this and then didn't have success. Just saying. Okay. Team Beachbody. The focus is the coaching network. There are over 355,000 coaches in the network. They do not put out the exact numbers, which I find interesting. This is what the website is stating. But back in 2016 and up to Summit, Summit is the annual convention for Beachbody. So up until Summit of 2017, as a coach, you would see the number of coaches in the network, and there were also welcome messages to people who had recently joined. And back then, there were over 400,000 coaches. But in 2017, the coaches lived in the U.S. and Canada. And in 2017, a huge amount of coaches, because that's when Beachbody On Demand went into place. And if you don't know what Beachbody On Demand is, it's basically a library of workouts. And so they stopped selling, individual challenge packs, the individual programs, along with the Shakeology and all this stuff, and everything became digital. And a lot of people were not making the money that they were. And so a lot of people left for another opportunity. Went into a place called Direct Sellers, but I don't know if they're still there. I know at least my original coach isn't. That's what she left to join, and she's not there anymore. She's now slinging CBD oil. So in the fall of 2017, Beachbody expanded into the UK. And this year at Summit, which happened last weekend, it was announced that there are now plans to expand into France. Okay, so let's look at how you are paid when you become a Team Beachbody coach. Now, I'm not an expert on any of this, and I find it a bit confusing. So if you find it confusing, you aren't alone. And I'm having talking problems. By the way, this is me when I was teaching both size and country heat, which are no longer offered to get certified in, at a very small local gym. And I had 3 students for like a 6-week class. No one signed up for the class before that, and then after that class was over, I needed to prove that I had insurance to be able to, teach, which at the time I didn't because I wasn't making money, which again, backstory if you want to know how I got into the coaching network and all of that, that's from this other video. And I already went into that story and I'm just not going to go into it here. But, I wasn't bringing in money through my coaching opportunity despite all the work I was putting in, an ungodly amount of work. So, I really couldn't justify getting the insurance that cost because, the 3 people that I got to sign up, that wasn't going to defray the cost, let alone everything else that I had spent my money on in trying to get this off the ground to where, people were actually saying yes and all of that kind of jazz. Okay, so we are going to look at the ranks. I'm going to break this down for you. To begin our journey, we're going to just kind of go over this. And, one thing that I want to say that as you get into higher ranks, you are able to earn more. And I'll do my best to explain this again. I am not an expert on this. I find it a bit confusing, but I want you to know how all of this works. Okie doke. So when you sign up, you are a coach, but you're not active because you can see there's like this little white dot on the far left. You haven't earned what's called personal volume or PV. For you to be an active coach, which is the little circle to the right, it's blue, you need to have 50 personal volume points. This means you need to sell or buy something that's worth at least 50 PV. For instance, with the coaching discount, there's a product called Recover, and it retails for $69.95, but for coaches, it's $52.46, and it's worth 52 PV. So basically, every dollar translates into 1 PV point. Next to that, Active Emerald Coach. That means you have signed up 2 people below you, and they are active. Plus, you have that 50 PV that you need. Ruby is the next rank. Most people skip this and go straight to Diamond. But as a Ruby, you have a total of 4 coaches, 2 on each leg, and at least one of them on each side is, Emerald. So there you go. And as a Ruby coach, you must have 75 PV. As a Diamond, and this is what everyone strives to get to. But the ranking doesn't stop just at Diamond. But this is where everybody's trying to go, and this is going to be important when we get further into this entire thing that I'm put together here. Beyond Diamond, there's also Star Diamond, and that Star Diamond goes up from 1 star to 15 stars. To be an active Diamond, you need at least 4 active coaches on each leg, and there needs to be 1 Emerald on each leg. So of those 4 on each leg, 1 of them needs to be Emerald. You can't have 2 emeralds on one leg. That's not going to make you an active Diamond. You have to have them on each side. It has to be even. And at this point, you need 100 PV points. So the higher you rank, the more PV you need to have to maintain that rank. And like I said, there's more ranking, that whole star thing, and placement for that when you get into the star system. I don't think they call it that, but I am. Placement matters, so you got to keep your legs even. So, you got to work at keeping everything going as you get further up into the ranks. Okay, I wanted to give you a visual representation of how PV works. So here you go. And like I said, I already gave you the breakdown for the personal volume for just the coach, emerald, ruby, diamond, for them all to be active. Now, if you are a 1-star to 15-star diamond, you need to have at least 200 personal volume points. Okay, so what do you need to do? This is what they sell you on. They sell you on the belief that you can sell 3 challenge packs each month and have your people stay on Shakeology. And as you can see, if you do that, the earnings go up each month. The breakdown here for month 1 as the commissions is $150, then $247.44, then $344. I think that's an 88. Can't really tell, but as you can see, that's what it is. So they're wanting people to get the challenge pack and the Shakeology and stay on that Shakeology. Staying on Shakeology is very, very important. If you don't know what Shakeology is, I'm not giving you a breakdown of that. It's basically the shake that Beachbody sells. It's a supplement, if you will. Okay, team cycle bonus. When you are just a coach, you're not up for team cycle because you don't have anybody underneath you. But when you rank up to emerald, then you have the ability to earn $14 per cycle, and you can earn up to $250 per week just by cycling. And by the time you get to the 10 to 15 star, you can earn up to $12,000 per week on team cycle bonuses alone. And if you take that $12,000, let's say you are able to do that every single week, that's $624,000 annually. That sounds pretty good, right? So, yeah, they're selling you on this dream. So your cycle bonus is between $14 to $18, and it depends on where you are, what your rank is in terms of how you cycle. Now, the cycling has to do with maintaining, getting a PV of at least $300. Once you have that personal volume, and it doesn't matter if you have 200 on your strong leg, and I don't know the difference between strong and weak. I never got there. I think I have an idea, but it doesn't matter. So you have 200 on one leg, 100 on another. That makes 300. You cycle once. You get $14, as an emerald coach. But on up, you can keep on cycling, and it all depends on, because you get from your downline. You get points from your downline. And you also can get retail stuff too. So it all depends on all of that. Okay, but it doesn't stop there. And I may have some of this not quite right because, I never got up that high. I could not maintain emerald, let alone anything else. But like I said, the earning doesn't stop there because you can actually earn from your personally sponsored coaches. So if you have coaches where there is one coach who is, actually 2 coaches who make 100, there's one coach that makes 500 in a week, there's a couple making 300, one making 200, it's $1,500, you earn 10% of that. So you'd get $150 in addition to all that cycling that you did. And you get this each week depending on, how often everything cycles. So, from just looking at this alone, can't you see why recruiting people is important and maintaining that is equally important? All right, so wait, there is yet more. Because once you are 2-star diamond and above, then you earn quarterly bonuses. And it is based on what your downline earned that quarter. You get a 0.5% of that for the quarter. So I didn't do all the math and all of that. I'm not going to, but I just want you to see that as you get further up in rank, there's more and more potential to make money. So when you see this, when you first start out, you're thinking, oh yeah, I can do this. You mean you are buying into the dream. All right, the next thing we're going to look at is the sustainability. Can you really do this? Can you keep it going? And I will say this, is that, it's challenging enough when you are just trying to get 2 people to stick under you so that you can maintain that emerald rank. Imagine if you have 15 stars. And I haven't even gotten into like the separate business centers, because you can have multiple business centers, and that's a whole nother, that's a whole nother slice of the pie, which I'm not getting into all of that in this because I find it confusing. And I really think the compensation plan is designed intentionally to be confusing. That's just kind of how these things go. So let's take a look at how this could be sustainable if everybody who is signing up desires to get to diamond and does it. Okay, now, before we go on, I just want to share this with you. It is from the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, and this is how pyramid schemes work. And as you can see, they're just starting with 6 on the first level, then 36. And as you keep going, by the 11th level, it's more than the U.S. population. By 13th, it's more than the world population and the participants within that. Now, I am not saying, hey, Beachbody is a pyramid scheme. I'll let you, decide on that. But pyramid schemes make money by recruiting. There are some that are product-based, and there's also naked pyramid, which means they don't have any product. When it comes to multi-level marketing, it's really a bit murky because companies like Avon, Unique, The Pampered Chef, and Beachbody all have products. And they also have huge networks of distributors. And each company calls their distributors something different. And like I told you, Beachbody just happens to call them coaches. And being called a coach, that people get very bent out of shape on that. And I get it, because it's like, well, who are you to tell me what to do to live a healthy life? Because all you did was sign up for this, and the word coach is attached to you. It's not like, you were trained in anything. Now, there are some people who are personal trainers. There are some people that have more knowledge about this, but for the majority of it, yeah, they don't. You are an independent contractor who works from home. And if you sell more than $600, you receive a 1099 form from Beachbody, and you have to pay taxes on that, especially if you didn't put anything aside. Whew, that's really going to hurt. You are not an employee. And myself, I have worked as an independent contractor in instructional design. My background is in instructional design. That means design and develop of training. And you're responsible for all of your expenses, all your taxes, all your everything. And that's the same thing if you are a Beachbody coach or if you're a distributor for any other organization that is an MLM. Okay, so let's apply this entire thing to Beachbody. That you signed up and you have 12 people underneath you because you are ranked as a diamond. And then they each get 12 people, and so on and so on and so on. In this example, you have those 4 people on each leg and 1 is emerald on each leg. So you have 2 coaches on their way to diamond. Now remember, all these people want to be diamonds, right? So when all of those 12 people hit it, then there's 144 people in the network. And all of those people want to achieve diamond. And then all of those people want to achieve diamond. And so on and so on and so on. The world population is a little over 7 billion in 2019. So by the time you reach the 10th level, which is the bottom one, you need more than 54 billion people for the next people to be able to, rank up, to be able to earn money. Isn't that a little bit crazy? Think about that. You run out of people. That's what I really want to emphasize. You run out of people, and that's for any of these organizations. All right, so let's apply this now to 2-star diamond. You have 2 people underneath you who are diamond. So now you're a 2-star diamond. You're making more money because you're getting more bonuses and everything, right? Well, how many, levels are there? There are 8 levels until you run out of people. So then what? What happens at that point? I mean, really, don't you see? The model, it can't be sustained. It just cannot be sustained. It's really that simple. So this is what they want you to believe. It's your fault. It cannot be the system. And when I say they want you to believe, this is the MLM industry. Any MLM, they want you to believe it is your fault because you didn't, do it. It can't be anything with what they've set up. No. It is all on you, baby cakes. I don't know if you watch The Handmaid's Tale. I do. But there have been some scenes in there. Now, The Handmaid's Tale, if you don't know about that, it's basically the U.S. has, the entire culture has changed. The entire political structure has changed because there was a problem with being able to have babies. And the handmaids are set up to have babies, okay? And they are given to what are called the commanders. And it's just this messed up thing. Go look it up. There's plenty of information. There's YouTube on it. There's, whatever. Google it. Just find out. But anyway, the handmaids, they are a commodity. And they become brainwashed because they have to be schooled. They have to be taught how to behave. And I know there's a scene, and I think we're in the 3rd season right now, and last week it was episode 8. And I remember June, she is the main character. She's sitting in the middle of a bunch of handmaids, and they're all pointing at her, saying it's her fault, her fault, her fault. That's the same kind of thing that goes on in MLMs. They point at you that it is your fault. It's not the system. It is you. You did not believe. You did not work hard enough. You did not follow up enough. You quit. You were not consistent. You abandoned people. It's all on you. Only with a strong enough belief do you actually invite people and sign up those other coaches underneath you. That's a bunch of crap. Just saying. That's what they're selling you, is to take on the blame so that you don't question anything. So you can do these 4 vital behaviors all the live long day. Be proof the products work, connect, invite, follow up, get results, do personal development, all this stuff, but it's not you. And no matter what you do, no matter how hard you push, not even being able to hold emerald, that was me. You can do everything you're told to do and never achieve diamond and never achieve that freedom you were hoping for. You can invite. You can recognize. You can be proof of the product. You can do personal development. All of the things that you are told to do and still struggle and still not make it. And you believe and you say you will bleed blue because you believe in the system, until one day you realize that there is no green coming in, and that's not what you signed up for. Now myself, I enjoy Shakeology. I really honestly do. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it is expensive. Although there's plenty of training that, it helps you figure out how to get people to budget for it. That really feels icky. I had to let it go. I had to let it go because I had no income. My independent contracting as an instructional designer dried up, and no one was interested in getting products or becoming a coach with me. What I really believe is, I think the best thing that Team Beachbody could do is, rather than expanding and going into France later this year, is to let your coaches go. Let them transform their lives without feeling like a failure and without experiencing all the anxiety that comes with chasing diamond and above, or even maintaining emerald, because it puts on tremendous pressure. Be willing to admit that this model you have set up is not sustainable, that it is flawed. Go back to just Beachbody. Keep Beachbody alive if you want to, so that people who are certified in teaching in gyms, like in Zumba and stuff, can get their continuing education, credit hours. But just stop the madness of feeding to people that they can make it and that anyone can make it, and that you just have to believe and push. Because let me tell you, a lot of things have changed when it comes to social media, and that's what Beachbody and all MLMs are using for the most part, and people are sick of it. Thousands of people never see a dime, and they are good people. They are hardworking people. They are dedicated, and end up forgetting how amazing they are as individuals because they aren't seeing success. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this content, then make sure that you hit the thumbs up and hit the subscribe. I do create weekly videos, and I'm diving into the subreddit world to kind of poke fun. Gosh, this talking thing is a problem. To try to poke fun at some things and getting away from what I was doing on my channel, which was leveraging my experience as an instructional designer and creating videos to help people learn how to create online courses. That's an entirely different thing, because there's some really kind of janky things going of like how people are learning to create courses, and that really bothers me. But I just really want to have some fun now. And so I'm just going to, see what I can find in the subreddit world and, just enjoy making some videos, because this is something that does bring me some joy. I have fun doing it. So again, thank you so much for being here. And remember, change starts now.